Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, May the 23rd, the beginning of a Memorial Day weekend. Still kind of early. We had a pretty good thunderstorm last night. Excuse me, I'm just grabbing my coffee here. Try to video and coffee at the same time. This should be interesting, right? Yeah, it's still morning. So we had a pretty good thunderstorm come through here last night. It's supposed to rain most of the weekend, so I figured while it's out here, lighting's somewhat good. We'll go take a look at the garden and give you a tour of the garden, and then we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the weekend. So tomatoes here. Hopefully at some point I'm going to get these guys out this weekend, but we'll see. I just don't have space for them at the moment. I've got to create a couple of sip beds for them to go in. Other than that, they may get thrown out. We'll see. You can see over here the chicks and the tractor got moved once. Let me put my coffee down and go take a look at the chicks. Let's see how well they survived with the rain last night in the new spot. I know they are getting big, I know that much. Well, it looks like everything is dry. And they're doing good. Probably need to add some more straw or something down there, but yep, everybody's doing good. They are definitely getting full feathered, and I swear every day they seem to be getting bigger. Let me give you a close-up look of them real quick. Get this down, see if I can do this without dropping it. Hold on. So I went ahead and put the thing up to hold the lid. That helps a lot better, but trying to do that one-handed with the camera and all that, yeah, that's not fun. But they are, you see how big they've gotten already, and they're I think they're right at 6 weeks old now. I was taking a look at the spreadsheet last night where I'm kind of tracking that fun stuff, so they're getting there. I mean, clearly they're not Cornish cross, so they've still got a lot of growing to do. The hens are going to go with the other chickens. The roosters will end up going to freezer camp. So that's the update on this. Let's get on over to the garden and see how we're doing over there. Getting all situated with my coffee and everything here. Let's go ahead and go take a walk on that. Chicks are all eating and stuff. Yeah, I think this garden has definitely gotten significantly larger, and there's been a lot of improvements. Don't mind the yard behind me. It's still got a lot, part of the yard work and stuff. Hopefully I can get done this weekend. I got a lot of mowing and stuff like that to do. But yeah, so there are the tomatoes. They are all doing quite well. We've got quite a few flowers and stuff on them. Everything is getting big. And you can see the beans in the background. You see how well they're doing. They're actually all climbing up the trellis already. They got leaves. Take around over the other side here in a second and show you those. Onions are doing well. But take a look at the squash over here. Kind of see how big that stuff has gotten already also. And then we got our one sip tomato pot. Seems to be doing pretty good. I guess the rain we got last night, everything is growing much better. Last week, I think I went and bought some basil, got some of that out. I got one lone beet that got, I seeded some last year, the frost killed everything and he got left over. There's actually one beet over here that was in the sick garden that decided to come up too. I don't know if you can see that. I'll turn this around and just kind of do a video without talking and show all the plants and stuff like that, do a little close-up on them. So, but that's where we're at on that. So let me turn you around, give you a close-up of everything. We'll see how that goes. So a couple items I kind of wanted to zero in on a little bit and see, hold on one second. So a couple of items I kind of wanted to zero in a little bit and kind of give an update on this tomato plant here. That's the one that got, the bird came along and picked it off. It's actually come along pretty good. It's got flowers on it already. Same way with the other one over there. It's doing pretty good also. So they're coming along. They're not as big as the other ones, obviously, but it just shows that they can take some damage and still come back and do all right. The other thing I wanted to show you, I've been showing every week the Malabar spinach I have that's seeded itself around the outside edges, and I showed some video on that coming up. That stuff is going crazy. And then this one over here, you can just kind of see right down there. It's about at the point I'm going to be harvesting some of it. And what's going to be different on this is I'm going to harvest the vine down, and we'll see if it comes back. I don't know if it's going to. I don't know if that's a growing characteristic. I know you can harvest the leaves all day long with no issue. I don't know if I just harvest it all the way down, if that's going to affect it or not, if I'll end up killing it, or what that's going to do to it. I picked a couple of onions last week just because I think they'd fallen over on me, and I've had to pick a couple of these. As you can see, some of these here are falling over. I think that's more from wind, or maybe somebody got up there. I don't know who that would be. I don't think she did, but we'll see. And so also come over here real quick. I showed you when I did the compost bin last week. I had some volunteers. Transplants didn't necessarily do real well. And again, this is the Malabar spinach, but that one's doing pretty good right there. So it's kind of volunteer, so I'm gonna let it see if it lives on its own, and we'll see where we go from there. So I got chores to go do. I got chickens to take care of, ducks to take care of. They haven't even been out yet this morning, so if I get more on this, get some projects or whatever done this weekend, I'll take you along on that. And so I don't know yet where we're at. So this is just a morning update, and we'll see you either on the next project or the next video. God bless. We'll see you on the next video. Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to mention about these tomatoes, now these are all Amish paste tomatoes that I got from Haas Tools, and they're indeterminate, so they're going to continue going up this trellis. But these guys sucker like I have never seen before. I swear, in the same armpit where you pull the suckers off of, these guys, I swear I'll come back 2 days later, and in the same spot I'm having to pull another sucker. And I know there are several of them in here that I am missing. I was just walking around this morning and seeing that there's a couple of them. I was like, holy, they're big. They're pretty good sized suckers. I'll show you that here in a second. So Amish paste tomatoes, I just kind of want to make that as a note. They sucker, and they sucker a lot. So let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, so those are just a couple of suckers that are in here that I need to go ahead and go pull off. So I'll show you that. I think these suck a lot more than what I've ever used to. It's the first time growing these, so something to think about in the future. Well, good morning, everyone. I got a project I'm working on this morning. It's Sunday morning, Memorial Day weekend. And I kind of want to get it so that when the chickens go in and get their food, they tend to knock their bowl over and spread food everywhere. So I came up with an idea last night. A, it's going to keep the food in one area, and B, it'll keep it dry when it rains. So what I've got is this 18-gallon tote. I'm going to come on the inside here. I'm going to put a support here on either side and put a board across here. I can put all the food in the back. I'm going to do supports along here. I'll screw those in from the side. And then I'm going to take this guy this way. And I'll screw this to a post back here. This will kind of sit here. And I'll be able to put the food back here. They'll be able to go in here, get the food, not spread it everywhere, and it'll keep it dry also. So we'll take a look at this and see, take you along on this journey, and we'll experiment. We'll see what happens. Okay, so this is what I did. This is kind of slapped together kind of deal. Gives me a space back here, quite a bit of space here. They can come in here, get their food, keeps it dry on all these sides here. And what I'll do is I'll just screw it into a 4x4 on the back side. So let me go get that taken care of, and I'll show you when it's complete. Okay, so what I've done is this is screwed to this post right here. So this is their food. Actually, what I'm going to do, this was a last minute thing. I put a bunch of oyster shells in here. That fits back there, which that's normally what their food was in. And that gives them the oyster shells that they can have and get their calcium and stuff separate. And I'm just going to take this and dump it right here. And now they can get in there and get to that any way they want. So let me go let the chickens out, and we'll see how this works. They're looking for their food. They don't know where it's at. It may take them a little bit of time to get that figured out, but we'll check it out over time and see how well that works. So we'll get back to you. So I was just kind of out here walking around the garden, clipping suckers and stuff like that, and taking a look at everything. You ever have, and this is kind of why you need to be out here on a regular basis. I'm out here daily, and I'm figuring out, we're getting flowers and stuff, but I'm not seeing any tomatoes yet. Well, then I see this. And hopefully you guys can So I'm already seeing green tomatoes coming on. Those are the first two that I've seen. If there's any others throughout there I've not seen them yet, those are the first two I've seen. So I swear they came up overnight. I didn't see those here yesterday, and this is like one of the plants that gets the most views because it's like right there on the first corner. So anyway, good news, Memorial Day weekend, we've got our first tomatoes starting to show up on the plants. So see you later. Just taking a look, I swear these green beans are growing by the day. They are, but you can see the growth and stuff on them. They get significantly taller every single day and start getting more leaves and stuff, and they're up to here already on some of these. So these are doing good. We'll see how well they work out over time. So I've been talking about doing these, doing a couple of sip gardens and rebuilding those and making some new ones. So that's kind of what this is here. What I've done, get that, is I've got this little piping stuff I've got down in the bottom, and I've got this basket that I put down in there. What's going to happen, the pipe is to hold the water and to kind of keep it level and give a certain spot. And I drilled a hole at 3 inches above the bottom. These are like 4 inches from top to bottom, so that gives a little extra space in there, so it's not to have a little bit of air and stuff. We'll put potting mix, and it's important when you build these that you do use potting mix. I'll fill this up with potting mix down at the very bottom. What that does is gives the soil contact to the water for it to wick up to the top of the bed, and then I'll fill the entire thing up with potting soil or potting mix. So let me give you a little closer look. So let me go fill this with soil, and I'll show you the finished product. So that potting mix I've got in that basket, I've got mashed down pretty good, nice and tight. I didn't want it real loose. It's supposed to act as a wick, so that's the first step. Let me get the rest of it filled up. So that's the finished product right there. I just filled it full of water in that tube right there. That'll put water down at the bottom. It'll wick it up. I need to get that filled up with water. I want to let it sit for a little bit, let it kind of wick up. And then my tomato plants, those guys need to go in here. We'll see if they make any they survive at all. So that's one of the sip gardens. Got a couple more to go. I'll have to probably make some minor adjustments on the others simply because I've got bigger drainage pipe to put into them. So that's where we're at right now. Have a great day. Hey guys, I just kind of want to go ahead and wrap up this video before we get some weather coming in. You can see behind me here that I've got the 3 sip gardens completed. I've got my tomatoes planted out, so they're no longer in the seed pots. They've been planted. We'll kind of follow along on their progress and see how they are. Like I said, this is Memorial Day weekend, so Today's May 24th. And so we'll see where they go, and we'll really compare the difference between them and the other ones as we go along. You've seen everything else like that on Monday, Tuesday. And also take you over here. Did a little bit of a harvest today. I harvested my basil, or some of my basil and some of my onions. The basil I cut down not because we needed it, more because I wanted to, when you harvest it down low, it makes it produce even more. Otherwise it'll get stringy and go to seed. So I wanted to go ahead and get some of that harvested so it'll actually end up producing more. And then the onions had been kind of knocked over. They didn't have good tops, or there were seed stuff coming up. So I went ahead and picked some of those just to make sure we were going to get them. I did have noticed that I've got white onions and yellow onions. The white onions are the ones that are wanting to like go to seed and send up flower stalks. The yellow onions are doing good. So here is the basil that I harvested, and then I got 14 onions right there. So we got 14 white onions. We're going to put these out to use recently, use in the near future. I'm not going to try to store them or dry them or anything like that. We'll do that with the other ones later. But these are going to be for more immediate use. So that's where we're at. Have a great weekend. Have a great Memorial Day. Remember, the reason for this is not for us, not for the barbecue, but to remember those who fought and died for us. So God bless. Have a great weekend. If you like this, please hit that like and subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Have a great weekend. God bless. And we'll see you in the next video.